I don't hook up what nobody says about none of that. I'm going to be calling until my court date. They're not going to do shit. At the end of the day, they can't do shit.
If he thinks we can't do something, you're going to look at this judge and think I can't do something, young man. You're going to learn a big.
Court calls the case of the people versus Marissy Hanky.
Your Honor.
Good afternoon, Your Honor. Attorney Kevin Hassan, P7.
Keith Hanky. All right, it's your motion.
I did file a motion to state that previous PCC hearing, my client's bond was revoked, his phone privileges from the jail suspended due to allegations that he cut off his tether and contacted the complainant. Following that particular bond hearing, I instructed my client to not contact the complainant witness period in the jail. I also instructed my client that if allowed to be back on bond, we would ask the court to hopefully just reinstate his original bond with tether. I would note that he has no prior criminal, well, no prior adult felony conviction whatsoever. Following the submission of my motion, I did read the people's response, which I guess there's been allegations that my client had contacted the plaintiff subsequently. Now, I just found out today some transcripts. Obviously, people address this. Some of the language that was used during conversations, I don't have phone conversations myself, but I will admit that it seems that my client had contacted the plaintiff even after his bond. And so I say this, Judge, again, I know it seems like my client is kind of throwing up his middle finger to the court.
Oh, yeah. He is.
But Judge, I just would state that this young man, I think he understands now that the court orders are serious, that the court orders him to do something, it means it. So Judge, I'm just asking, I guess, for some leniency to trust that Mr. Hanky will comply. He had a $75,000 cashier bond that he was able to post to a bondsman. The only thing I can ensure that if the court were to give him a second chance, he would not violate his bond, even if the bond is a house arrest with strict conditions. So Judge, I am asking the court to reinstate his bond, and if the court is unwilling to do so, I would at least ask that his phone privileges be allowed back on to at least contact family. Does he never had any contact with his family, his children? He hasn't been able to contact his dad, caretaker for. So at the very least, the restriction on his phone privileges to contact them.
All right. Well, before I hear from the people, counsel, let me just say, you came in here the first time, and well, let me start with this. Where's our tether?
From my understanding, Judge, I thought community corrections still had it. I thought they had become.
He cut the tether off. We haven't seen it.
Okay.
And I know you made the representation to the court, but I know you wouldn't have personally known that. I'm sure that came from your client or something along those lines. We don't have the tether back.
Okay.
Then, you know, and I get you're making the representation saying your client's going to follow what the court says, but I don't know if anything can be as shocking as walking into a court free. Your bond gets revoked. You get put in jail because of something that you've done, and then you still go about violating the court's order.
I'll be honest with you, counsel. I mean, I get what you're saying. I don't have a problem giving people chances. I just don't know that this is the one to give a chance to. Because he just hasn't done anything the court's asked him to do. Ms. Senda.
Your Honor, I will rely mostly on emotion. However, in listening to his jail calls, he has 45 total calls to one number after his privileges were revoked with different pins he's using. Then to the other number, we have 23 calls that were completed since his privileges were revoked with different pins. And in one of these calls, as recently as Monday, there were a few memorable quotes that I heard in the calls, such as, "There's not shit in this world that's going to stop me from talking to you, man. Nothing in this world's stopping me from you. I don't hook up what nobody says about none of that. I'm going to be calling until my court date. They're not going to do shit. At the end of the day, they can't do shit. I'm going to talk to you till I can't talk to you no more. I'll be home. I'm not worried, man. I know I told you this is about to be my last call, but I'm not stopping shit. I'm not stopping nothing." And then, why stop now if they already know? So I have extreme concerns that he cannot follow court orders, considering he cut off his tether, continued flagrantly calling the victim on other pins, both numbers, acknowledging in some of the calls that he should not be contacting her, and continue to contact her. He just cannot abide by any of the court orders that are set before him. So I have great concerns, and especially given the violent nature of this case as well.
Anything else, counsel?
I mean, counsel, does your client want me to just request to the jail that they put him in solitary so that he has no contact with anyone, can't use their PIN number? If he thinks we can't do something, and if particularly you're going to look at this judge and think I can't do something, young man, you're going to learn a big lesson.
So I definitely don't want that. My client.
Well, he needs to, and I don't mean to interrupt you, counsel, but he needs to understand. You can say all that stuff. You are not that big, not that bad. Now, if you want to play with me, this is the kids say, mess around and find out. I guess that's not the quote, but yeah, well, it's close, but I did pretty good. I said it okay, right now. All right.
So just, if I may, just briefly, my client would like to.
Go ahead.
I want to apologize. I don't think I'm being bad at all. It's breaking by myself. I can't say that I'm not in here for nothing. You know, I obviously think I am. Yeah. I just want to apologize. You know. Like I said, I'm not being bad. I don't want to be here at all. I really don't. Truly. But again, please show mercy. Please. That's all that matters.
I have no problem showing mercy to those that deserve it and have earned it. You have not. Motion for bond reduction or any change is denied. His bond will continue as revoked.
Thank you, Judge. And for the record, this is also, from my understanding, the PCC.
Yes, sir. Is all discovery complete?
It is. And I would ask, if possible, what if possible.
People have their witnesses available on the first.
We'll do our best, Your Honor.
Preliminary examination in person will be set April 1st, 2025, 9 a.m. in person before Judge Perry.
And Your Honor, I did want to make it clear where I did contact the jail yesterday, and they have blocked both of victims' new numbers and old numbers, so there should not be any more
calls coming through. All right. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Judge.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Today's case is one of the boldest, most reckless bond violation disasters this courtroom has ever seen. Before the judge even begins, the defendant, Marissy Hanky, is already in trouble. His bond has been revoked, his tether is missing, and prosecutors claim he's been calling the victim non-stop from jail, even after being explicitly ordered not to. And then comes the bombshell. The prosecutor has the jail call recordings. As she reads his own words aloud, the courtroom shifts from tense to stunned. There's nothing in this world that's going to stop me from talking to you. I don't care what nobody says. I'm going to be calling it till my court date. They can't do anything. This young man wasn't just breaking the rules. He was bragging about it. The judge's face? Pure disbelief turning quickly into boiling frustration. But before the judge speaks, the defense tries their best. His attorney pleads for mercy, begging the court to give the defendant his phone privileges back, or maybe even reinstate his bond. He insists his client has learned his lesson. But the judge isn't buying a single word. He asks the prosecution for more details, and what comes next makes the whole courtroom freeze. 45 illegal calls to one number, 23 more calls to another, multiple pins used to hide the calls, and every single call made after his privileges had already been revoked. In other words, the defendant was working overtime to break the law from inside a jail cell. The prosecutor explains that he even admits in the calls that he knows the contact is forbidden, but keeps doing it anyway. Worse yet, this case involves violence. The victim is supposed to be protected, and he is calling her repeatedly. That's when the judge finally unleashes. With a voice that cuts through the courtroom, he warns the defendant directly. If you think we can't do something, if you think I can't do something, young man, you are about to learn a big lesson. He even suggests putting the defendant in solitary confinement so he can't use anyone else's PIN to make calls. The defendant tries to speak, stumbling through an apology, insisting he's not trying to be bad. But the judge has heard enough. He shuts him down with one final message. I have no problem showing mercy to people who deserve it. You have not. With that, the ruling drops like a hammer. Denied bond reduction, denied phone privileges, and freedom still revoked. A preliminary hearing is scheduled, and the defendant is escorted back, still in custody, now with far fewer privileges than before. This wasn't just a bond hearing. This was a lesson on arrogance, disobedience, and the consequences of thinking you're bigger than the court.